Hello everybody, this is Moshe, the Electric Israeli, and today's topic is buying a used electric car. First of all, let me say, buying a car is the worst investment one can make. Any car, doesn't matter, any car on earth, when you buy a car, you're gonna lose money. This is not a good investment. As soon as you take it off the lot, it loses its value. Now, some cars retain better value, resale value, some cars more or less, but in general, buying a car is a stupid decision. Okay, having said that, I'm one of these stupid people who make these stupid decisions, but sometimes you have no choice. So, what does that mean? I said it in previous videos, if you are a person who drives a lot of miles, then leasing a car is obviously not a good option for you because it's just you need a lot of miles. The most you can get on miles is 18,000. Most of them is 15,000. Ford gives you 19,500, I believe, but you're not going to get more than that. That's what you get. So that's number one. Number two, obviously, if you have any scratches, any dents, you have to take care of it and all that. So if you that kind of a person and buying a car is your only option, then you have to buy a car. So now let's narrow it down to electric cars. Electric cars are notorious for losing their value exponentially more than regular internal combustion cars. And still, the Nissan Leaf is a very, 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 very popular car in terms of the amount of units that were sold. And now the new one is coming up soon. The Volt is also a very popular car. The many units were sold. And I'm just talking about the United States. I'm sure it's the same thing for every country. Cars lose their value. So when I think let's now narrow it down to electric cars. If buying an electric car is something that you really want, and I hope you do, my best advice for you is to buy a used car. A used electric car of maybe 1 or 2 years old, even 3 years old, with let's say between 10 to 30,000 miles. It's a very good, very, very good idea. It's very good buy, because you can get used Nissan Leafs or used Chevy Volts, and I'm naming these two because there's the most inventories on this one. If you look at other electric cars, used electric cars, you're not going to find, except for Tesla, but we'll talk about it in a second. Used Nissan Leafs and used Chevy Volts are extraordinarily cheap. My 2015 Nissan Leaf right now, and I have 21,000 miles on it, will cost you between $8,000 to $10,000. If I have to sell my car right now, which I won't, because that would be really a suicide, financial suicide, will cost you that much. You can find good Nissan Leafs and good Chevy Volts for $5,000 to $10,000, and these cars can go for a long time. Now, if you decided to do that, then here's my advice to you: don't buy the early models. So I would not buy a 2010 to 2013 Nissan Leaf or Chevy Volts. The battery chemistry was not the same. There was no heat pump in the early models of the Leaf. There's no heat pump in the Chevy Volt, even in the new models, but that's another story. So if I'm to buy a used Nissan Leaf, I would buy 2014 and up. Then you should look at the miles. You should try to keep it below 35,000 the most, because now you can get a lot of miles for the time that you're going to own it. So you can spend between $5,000 to $10,000, buy yourself a nice Nissan Leaf or a very nice Chevy Volt. Like I said, 2014 and up. The Chevy Volt or older models before the 2016 refresh have a better battery capacity. So you can get, I think, 40 miles or 42 miles or something like that. Now, second thing, especially in the Nissan Leaf, is look at the charging bar. There's supposed to be 12 bars. Don't buy don't buy a car that is missing a bar or two. Do not, because that is an indication that the battery is very degraded, and then you will not be able to go as far. I mean, if you buy a Nissan Leaf 24 kilowatt, you're not buying it because you want to go far away. It's a commuter car, but still it's an extraordinarily useful car. It's a very well built car. Nissan Leafs are really well built cars, and they are electric cars, born electric cars. So you should know that. It's very, very important. So is the Chevy Volt, even though the Chevy Volt has a lot of compromises because it has a range extender. So it's a 4-seater and all that. So here's the criteria: 2014 and up, 35,000 miles or less, in my opinion. Obviously, this is all my opinion. If you buy the Leaf, make sure you have all the bars. Do not buy a Nissan Leaf that lost a bar or two. Do not. It will give you will be very upset about that. My car, thank God, still has all the bars, and I have 21,000 miles. So, and I'm committed to that car, so I'm going to have it. I'm going to give it to my son later on. That's okay. But I would highly recommend, knowing what I know now, I would buy a used electric car, which is very hard for me to do because I always like to buy new stuff. So same thing with the refresh Chevy Volt, the 2016 Chevy Volt. If you want a Chevy Volt, wait another year. My Chevy Volt right now, which I bought for 37,000, if I have to sell it now, it will be 17,000. If you wait a little bit, you can get a wonderful Volt or a Leaf for not half price, maybe a third or even a quarter of the price. It's a great deal, really great deals, and they will last you very long and all that. Now, of course, you have the disadvantage of maybe car being out of warranty and all that, but I think the battery warranty is 5 years on the older Leaf, 8 years on the newer Volts. So the most important component, which is the battery, you still have it covered, so you can buy 2 or 3 year old car and still have 5 years or so of warranty. And that is a good deal. That is a good deal. And if God forbid something happened, at least you did not spend the full premium price. Same thing goes for the Chevy Bolt and the Nissan Leaf that's coming up. I would wait a year or two. I would have like a bridge car, wait a year or two and get them for half price, quarter of a price, third of a price, whatever that is. It's such a great idea. Same thing with Teslas. There are thousands of used Teslas on the market, whether you go to cars.com or the Tesla website, thousands of them for extraordinary inexpensive is in quote, of course. If this is your if this is your market, if you're able to buy cars like this, you can get a Tesla for 50,000, for 60,000, 85 with good options. So you can do that. So knowing what I know now, after a few years of electric cars being on the market, the best investment will be to buy a used electric car. Leaf, Volt, Tesla, later on the Bolt, and new Leaf. Just wait a little bit, be patient. Don't be like me. Be patient, and you can have a great deal, and you can enjoy a wonderful car for a very, very affordable price. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any more tips or ideas that we can share and we can, learn from each other, it'll be great. Put them down in my comments. Please subscribe to my channel, like my Facebook, follow me on Twitter, all the Electric Israeli. Have a great day, everybody.